hi, I didn't see you there. Welcome to the One Brain Cell podcast. It's your host, Mike, and my mother, Anna.
Sponsored, but not really sponsored by this herbal beverage.
Chinese brand herbal beverage.
Yo, it's not good. If you never tried it, you should try it, okay?
Uh,
It's got herbal stuff in it that makes you think that you're like drinking good stuff, but I don't even know like what the ingredients are.
oh my god. Yeah, I lived with Chinese roommates for like my grad school, and they would always come home and be like, yo, drink this. And like, they just didn't know what it was. It's just like, yo, it's just a Chinese drink. I'm like, okay.
I mean,
They're always good.
yeah, they're like I'm looking at the ingredients right now. At least you know the first ingredient is water and the second one is sugar. So it's mostly water and sugar and a bunch of other things that I don't know what it is because it
MSG.
sounds like no, there's no MSG. There's not MSG in everything, okay? Just majority of the things, okay?
That's not water.
No, but like, I mean, it's originated from 1828, okay? I've been drinking this
Damn.
stuff from childhood, all
Shit's
right? I
mad
don't know
old.
what it is. They just give it to me, and I was like, yo, this is mad good, and I've been drinking
Yeah.
it since.
It's they've been drinking that since they've been rebuilding the country. You want to see my cool mug that I have?
Go. Ooh.
Yes.
It would be better if it was just a mustache and it was like right at the
Yeah,
top.
if it lined up better, that'd be cool. But
Yeah.
you take what you can get. Apparently, it's from the Food Network.
From which like chef?
I don't know. It's like my youngest sister got it from my oldest sister, and now I appropriated it, and now it is mine.
Now I want to know. Anyways, big update is that I finished One Piece live action, and
Yeah.
I do want to say that I very, very much enjoy. As a
Hell, yep.
freaking like
Yep.
avid
We got her.
fanatic,
We
yeah,
got her, guys.
I was skeptical, but I've been changed. Okay, like my ways of thinking have changed. I believe live action adaptation can be good, just not all of it, but
No,
just
this
some
was
of
this
it.
was the exception that proved the rule, kind of thing.
Yes, like I believe. I mean, I never watched Rolling Kenshin live action or the anime, but like everyone tells me it's great. It's a great
Really?
adaptation. But then, like, yeah, but like that's like easier to do because it's like samurai. You're just like setting yourself in the old
Yeah.
Edo times, and it's like there's not a lot of like need for like CGI and stuff. Like the only reason why I was so skeptical about the One Piece live action is the amount of CGI they're gonna have to do for the like for all the like devil fruit stuff, you know? Like
Yeah.
it's gonna need like a lot of like processing and like action is like you're taking all these like actors and actresses who are like not very like particularly like big name. I know Zoro his actor
Yeah.
is
McKenny's
big,
big in Asia, right?
yeah, in Japan specifically.
Mm.
So I know he's kind of on the bigger side, but like everyone else, I feel like they're like not that big name. But like I feel like the fact that they're not big name does like give off a good vibe about things, like that they took the risk with like these smaller name actors and actresses to give them that chance. And then on top of that is the fact that they purposely were casting to like stay true to the like physical characteristics of like the characters themselves, because I
Yeah.
feel like I know it's impossible to always be perfect in terms of like embodying the anime characters, because obviously like
They
sometimes
got
they're gonna
pretty
have
close though sometimes.
no, they did get pretty close, which is why I was like, I fucking love this so much. Like, because you know how like anime is like always like they sometimes have like really odd features of physical features or hair color or whatever the case may be, but
Yeah.
like they did such a good job like casting, and I like super super appreciate that. And I think like the other thing is just like like personally casting was like one of the best. And then like
Hmm.
I think personally is like you know those like moments that hits you like that hits in the anime itself. So
Yes.
like I think like a good example was obviously Nami's plea for help. I
Hmm.
was like I was thinking about it and I was like how are they gonna do this and how is it gonna hit? Because that was like a very like solid moment in the anime.
Yeah.
Like anybody who thinks about Nami will always like know that this is like the fucking pivotal point, you
Yeah.
know, for her. Like she's such a like different, like her character is so different from the beginning, and like how it's like that was her pivot in her character. And I think like Emily did such a good job in like really like portraying the feeling of like her, of Nami.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it hit me right in the chest
Oh my
when
god.
like, you know, Luffy said like of course he will help, gave her the hat, and I was just like, oh,
There was an interview backstage of like, or behind the scenes of her saying about how much pressure she put on herself to really get that right. Like she was like, she knew like as soon as she got cast, that was the scene that was make or break for the show. So
I mean,
she
I
did
think,
it.
yeah. Yeah, yes, because I feel like we all know that everyone's character origin in the Straw Hat crew are like are very important in their own way, right? They're like a pivotal, it's like a pivotal moment in their character that like really changes like their mindset. Like Zoro's obviously is the fact that like I think Zoro's pivot was obviously when after he got defeated by Mihawk and
Yep.
saying that he wants to be the best swordsman for Luffy and he won't ever lose
Never
again.
lose
So
again.
yeah, so that was his pivot. Like even though yeah, his origin story is kind of sad and every like I don't know, is it kind of
Fell
sad?
down the
Like
stairs.
yeah, like is it kind of sad? I don't know. I mean,
It's yeah, moderately, mildly
but I
maybe.
don't. That's not like let's be real now. That's not his true origin story because I feel
Yeah.
like his true origin story is still yet to come out, especially even in the manga, since like we started at when he was like kind of sort of like teenager kids like
Yeah.
teenager age and stuff like that, and then like I mean Usopp we have gotten it from when he was a kid, and I think like they did such a good job with like Usopp's character, and I agree he's
Hmm.
more likable in this one too, just because it's not like over the top kind of like shit. Like he still does his thing about like you know over exaggerating and stuff like that, but it's
Yeah.
the fact that like it's not as bad, and I feel like it's a bit toned down, and like I can handle that, I can deal with that, and I like
Yep.
that. And yeah, his origin story is still a pretty good one in the sense that like he wants to just be like the best that he can be. And then you
Hmm.
have Sanji with Zev, and I'm like, you know,
Still
it's like
strong.
it's still strong. Like Zev's like sacrifice, like fuck, still freaking hits pretty hard. I was like literally holding back tears when I saw that scene, and it was just like,
Man.
oh
Can we talk about
gosh.
how Zeph stole like the show in two or three episodes in a row?
Oh
Like
my
he was so good.
gosh. He is such like I feel like every time he comes on camera, he is such a commanding
Yeah.
presence. And I'm just like
Like you believe he was
that's
the former pirate, you know?
yeah, and I feel like that's what I mean. Like casting was done so well in that sense because like everyone really embodied their like role and stuff like that, right? And
Hmm.
like even like all the other characters, right? Like Garp, I was like kind of weirded out as to why he has an accent. What was his accent? Like a
Oh, he's
Scottish or
like Scottish. The actor's Welsh, but it sounded a bit Scottish, I think.
yeah. Like that's what I was thinking too. I'm like he has the accent, but I'm just like
Luffy.
I yeah, but I can't like I got over it. It's like it is what it is. Like Luffy doesn't have it, so whatever. It doesn't. But like in the end of the day, like these like minor details doesn't really matter. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like an accent is an accent. Like the whole point is that the world is like it's connected but not connected, right?
Yeah.
Like it's connected because it's like the world, but it's not connected because it's just a bunch of islands. So I mean, for me, it was like Garb was like still a great casting too because like his physique and his like whole like physical feature very fitting for Garb.
Hmm.
Kobe, oh,
Kobe,
Kobe was
they just took him from the manga and put him in the show.
Literally, I was like so happy with like the casting for Kobe. Like in a sense, like he did such a good job in terms of like really embodying how timid he was, how scared he was, into shifting him into like a change of a character to be like what he is now. And I
Yeah.
just like cannot wait to like see him later, because like he does show up a lot later, and like his glow up, oh my gosh. I'm
He's
like,
got time. He's hitting the gym now, I'm sure.
I know, I'm like, I can't wait for his glow up. But like, yeah, like I think like one, casting is well done, and I think like they hit a lot of good pivotal scenes. Like I think, because it's like I feel like they did cut out a lot of like fluffy stuff that comes with the manga, that comes with the
Yeah,
anime and everything like that, which is not a bad thing, and I think it's a good thing. It helped pace the show
for
a
sure.
bit better, right? Like you're cutting down like a lot of details that
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily.
Syrup Village, I was so happy that was just 2 episodes. I'm like, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah, I think like the fact that they did like 2 episode, 2 episode, 2 episode for each of the crew members, I was like, this is good.
Yeah, it
Like I
worked.
like this pacing. Yeah. Like I said, like hitting all the major scenes is like the most important thing, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Like you gotta hit like, so what Snami's case is, you gotta hit like, her origin story as to why she's doing this with Arlong, why she's doing this and how she's doing
But
this.
Bellemir's
But
death
like,
still hit too. Like,
oh yeah.
it's like, ooh,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like
ooh.
yeah, it has to be like a significant like death. And then like I think the other thing was like the fight scene, right?
Mm,
Especially with Arlong, it's like the he definitely had to like fight Arlong and realize he's not gonna have a winning chance with Arlong. So he decides to like destroy the place
yeah.
with Arlong. Like all that does matter a lot. Like it seems like they could have gone a different way as to like how to like power scale Luffy in that live action, but like they still stayed pretty true into the whole, how it was done in that manga, how it was done in the anime.
Yeah, for sure.
Um yeah, and then like other pivotal things is obviously Zoro Mihawk's fight, and then like
Wait, tell me,
that was
tell me how Mihawk is like exactly Mihawk.
Mihawk. I fucking no. Like his act, like the fact that he has an accent too, I was like, damn it, why does this work so well?
It's like it's the exact same voice like from the dub. Like that's what he sounds like in the dub too. So for me, it was like literally just Mihawk on the screen. It's like, shit. Okay.
I think Mihawk in the sub is a little bit deeper in his voice, but even then, I'm just like, dude, it works. What works, it works. You can't stop it. Now it makes, and then you know how at the end credit they like show you like the preview of what's gonna happen next.
Uh huh.
So, and then we meet Smoker, but we don't know who Smoker is, and
Oh,
I'm just like,
that could be me.
I was just like, we're gonna meet Smoker.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm so excited for Smoker.
Oh, me too, my hottie.
Yeah, I had to like explain to the person I was watching with, like, because they are not like a One Piece fan, so I like had to tell them like, yo, this is like one of the best characters. Like, this is gonna be fucking hype.
Yo, he's such a baddie, but like,
Baddie and a
such a
daddy.
hottie.
Yeah. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, I know.
Like,
I know.
so that means if we're gonna meet Smoker, but then I'm pretty sure if we're gonna do 8 to 10 episodes, then Smoker at what's that town called again? Where they
Logtown.
met? Logtown. And then
That
after
might just be like
Logtown,
one episode.
I think it's gonna be one episode because I think they can get it all into an hour.
Yes, that way they can have more for Alabasta.
Yeah, more for Alabasta, and also like, guess who else we should be meeting then?
Laboon.
Yes, Level!
Yeah.
Best character. Can't
Who
wait.
they're gonna cast as Laboon.
I don't know yet, but I can't wait to meet the person who got casted for the doctor.
Oh, Crocus. Oh man.
Yeah,
I wish
I
I
know.
was like old so I could be Crocus.
I hope whoever they cast has like his deadpan like just his deadpan ways of saying things.
Oh yeah, dude, I rewatched that episode recently, and he's so fucking funny.
I know. I just really hope that whoever the cast is like gonna be just as good in delivering the lines. But then
Yeah.
like also there was like a lot of people like celebrity quote unquote celebrity casting, and then obviously Jamie Lee Curtis was.
Well, I can see her like doing that for like free
You
as
think so?
Kureha. Yeah, because she likes One Piece.
She does. That's why I'm like she does fit for
And I think like she was saying her daughters or something want her to be in it really badly.
but I do agree that Jamie Lee Curtis would fit very well for the role for
Oh, yeah.
what's that
I
what's
think
her name again?
is it Dr. Kureha?
It's the doctor for sure. I can't remember all these characters.
I think the other one is Hiralak, and I thought it was Kureha. I don't know.
But we not you and I both know which one we're talking about,
Yeah,
right?
Dr.
Okay.
Skinny Old Woman.
Yeah, that one. But then like I guess the question now comes if they get that far, then what's Chopper?
Well, they're getting that far.
Yeah, so what's Chopper though? Like is
Danny
Chopper gonna
DeVito.
just be
So it's the clear
Danny
choice.
DeVito? No, it's not the clear choice. Chopper has
Hey,
to be voiced
Luffy.
by a kid. No, Chopper has to be voiced by a kid, in my opinion.
A kid,
Like, they
not
can-
like a woman doing a kid voice. Because like if it's a kid, then like that kind of doesn't have a lot of staying power, you know.
Oh, that's
They'll get
true. I
old.
guess. Yeah, I guess like yeah, you might be right in this. Like a woman that can like do a kid's voice,
I mean,
probably
that's what
the
they
best.
did with like before, you know, in like the anime and stuff. So it feels like the easiest, like the lowest hanging fruit.
That's true, but I think like it just also has to be like able to embody like his range a little bit because he does like scream a lot. So that means like whoever does do it has to be able to like keep that same voice while screaming.
Danny DeVito.
No,
Alright, fine. What about Steve
but then
Buscemi?
if we hit Alabasta, that also means we're gonna see Robin.
Oh, I don't know why I thought you were gonna say the camel.
Yes, the camel.
We will see the camel, but oh god, Robin. Oh, that's gonna be make or break for me personally.
Me too, because I feel like Robin is both our favorite
It
characters.
is, yeah. She's the most
And-
relatable.
Yeah, and I think like, I mean, I want to say like for her it's our relatable, and then I think everyone else is like someone else. But like
Yeah.
Robin is definitely like
Relatable
our
for
favorite.
us.
Yeah, but like I guess I can't. I guess I can't picture anyone as Robin just yet until
No,
like
but you couldn't really picture anyone else as Luffy either.
that is true. And I'm hoping like whoever they do end up casting, since it's not going to be me, that like it's a good choice.
Yeah. I mean, if you want your chance now, it's you know, they're probably not auditioning until the SAG strike is over, so you got a chance still.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting the strike is still going
yeah,
on.
you got a chance.
But like speaking of Hollywood and stuff, did you hear Love Is Blind is nominated for an Emmy?
No, what? Not this season.
Well, not this season. I think
Oh,
they.
thank
I don't know
God.
which. Well, I don't know which season got nominated, but I remember the last time I went on to Netflix and I clicked to watch the show, it was like Emmy nominated. And I'm just like, what? What? This trash TV is now Emmy nominated?
Yeah, I don't like. I can see like the concept being like kind of Emmy worthy, maybe, because it is like an interesting concept. That's what got us watching. Like,
Okay, but what else is Emmy nominated in like?
well, it's like
That's
reality
a reality
TV,
show.
right? I don't know. Well, that's the
Mhm.
thing. I feel like that category is not very hard. Doesn't have a huge barrier to entry. You know, like what really would be a top reality television show?
That's true. That's true. And I think like the other thing. Okay, but whatever. Aside, like, I don't want to get too much into the antics of the Emmy and like award shows because I always think that it's fucking rigged anyway. So it
I
doesn't
mean, it
matter.
is.
Yeah, it is. It doesn't matter as long as my favorite thing wins, and I'm like, it doesn't matter
As long as I win, that's all. That
as long
counts.
as I win. Anyways, but like, aside from that, like this season of Love is Blind has been absolutely bananas. And I don't know why, if it's like, is it just that they coincidentally got a bunch of crazy people into this show? Or did they
I
purposely
don't
somehow
know.
manage to find these crazy people and was like, you're in, you're in, you're in, you're in?
So I feel like this might alienate some viewers, but I feel like the seasons they film in Texas are always have really shitty people in it. Like they had another
Yeah.
season in Texas where it was also kind of a huge shit show, but this is just like takes the cake, and I feel like it can't. I don't even know if it can say it's coincidental or not. Like a lot of the guys, like if you look at them for 5 seconds and like hear them talk, you can see them as huge red flags.
I do kind of agree with that because, like, the last time they did an episode was Austin, right?
Yeah, they did
Austin was the
Austin.
last. And then who do we have that was a train wreck in Austin? We had all I can think about is Bartiz.
Yeah,
Bartiz is like
Ortiz.
my epitome train wreck in that season
They
in
had
particular.
Colleen and Matt, who were like, my sister argues that Colleen is still being held captive by him.
Okay,
Uh,
hold on. Let me like look
yeah,
up.
look up the images, because then you'll remember. He's just like the guy who like, I don't know. There's just all like so weird matches and gaslighting and shit. There's the
Is there
dude who
like
got broken up with because he said that a girl shouldn't eat like 12 oranges in her sitting.
what? Oh wait, what? What's his name again?
I think it was Matt and Colleen. Or are you
Oh
talking
wait,
about
okay,
the
hold
other
on.
guy?
All right, hold on. It's gonna be season. Was it which
I think
season?
it was
Three?
season 3. Yeah, it's because season 4
Three.
was
Okay.
Seattle, and that one went relatively well.
So season 3. Okay. Where? No, it was Dallas. Sorry, Austin. It was Dallas,
Alright.
Texas.
Austin, you good, buddy.
And they have 5 couples. Oh, okay, yeah. This is a fucking train wreck of
Yeah,
a
yeah, right?
season.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have 5 couples, and only 2 made it out towards the end, and that was Alexa and Brennan, who I still think somehow like Brennan is like brainwashed a little bit into this marriage. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, and
And then
then
you have
yeah, Matt
Colleen
and
and Matt.
Colleen, who also
Yeah,
might have some sort of weird like captivity thing going on.
who knows? Maybe it's a thing. I don't know.
Whatever.
Anyways, but according to the Wikipedia, they are still all together.
That's good, I guess.
And Colleen and Matt moved in together in June of 2023. So literally like a couple of months ago.
Wow.
Okay. So who else do we have in terms of couples that season? We had Zanab and Cole. Okay, so
Yeah, that was
Zanab
the
and Cole is
orange
the one
guy.
you're
Yeah.
yeah, the orange guy. I couldn't tell which one of them. I don't want to say like in an argument of between a couple there has to be someone who is right and someone who is wrong. But like in their case, I'm kind of like it just seems so disorienting watching them fight and some stuff
No.
sometimes.
Well, I feel like, well, she was like a second choice of his or something, right? I
No,
remember.
he picked her.
Oh, well, no, I remember she like had some insecurity about that though, because he said like that Colleen was attractive or something.
Oh yeah, I mean like he didn't like say that she was a second choice. I don't remember that.
No, but like I just know
But
that led to huge issues for like essentially like just broke the foundation that they had.
yeah, I think yeah, I do remember and I do think that like yeah, he knew that Colleen would be like the typical girl that he usually go for.
Yeah, I think that's what he said, something to that
Yeah,
line.
but then he it's not like he chose Colleen as a first choice. It was I believe Zeneb was still his first choice.
Yeah.
But then I think like but then like no, I do agree like Zeneb she did have like insecurities and everything like that that should have probably been worked through before going on the show. But hey, maybe we
Well,
just all choose to
that's
go on a show to be therapy like session or something.
well, that's what happened this season, I feel. Like,
Oh my god! And then wait, hold on. Before we move on,
okay,
can we still go through season three's couples? So
sure.
Seneb and Cole, I just don't. understand why they chose to last as long as they did.
No, they're completely opposite type of people.
And I don't know why they kept trying to push forward with the wedding.
It felt like a sunk cost fallacy thing going on with them. It's like we
Probably.
put
And
in all
then
this time in the pods. Oh,
and then the other couple is Raven and SK.
oh my! I forgot about that. They were like the
That
sanity
felt
couple too.
I know, and it all felt like a freaking fever dream as to like what freaking unfolded for them.
You know, I think this is a show where there's like an actual like villain, and you know who the villain of the show is
In season 5, in season 3.
in every season.
Okay, are you gonna say SK is the real villain
No,
of season
I'm gonna
3?
say Instagram is the real villain. Because every time something goes wrong, it's because they're talking to someone on Instagram, they're cheating on someone with someone they met on Instagram, they're not liking all the photos of their spouse. It's as soon as they get back to Instagram, shit starts going bad. And it's always Instagram, it's never any other app.
Damn, you're kind of right on that.
Right?
It's not Twitter. It's not like
That's
TikTok.
why I'm like, I wonder if like that's where the casting producers like find them, is on Instagram.
Well, no, you have to apply, but I think the producers and everybody or whoever does the casting, I'm pretty sure they deep dive into like their social medias and all these things like that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
okay, but before we go about that for season 5, and then so Raven and SK, they were like literally the couple that we were all rooting for and everything like that. But
Absolutely.
and then shit hit the fan so freaking hard that there was no recovery or anything like that. And then you have Nancy and Bartiz. Like,
Oh god.
I can't, like, Nancy, like, I feel like I don't want to say she dug a hole for herself in this situation by going with someone who is absolutely, like, one is younger and, like, everything like that. But, like, I think his red
We're
flags.
seeing that in this season.
Oh, yeah, that too. But I think, like, the other thing was, like, when they started having talks, like really important talks, you know, about like which
Yeah.
obviously I felt like should have happened in the pods.
Yep.
Like, you know, talks about finance, talks about religion, talks about like
Yeah.
their ideals, their politics, and all these things like that.
And
All
and
that
it
should
being
always
diametrically opposed on some of them.
I know, and I feel like some of these things are like whatever is your negotiable and whatever is your non-negotiable, you should have known walking in already.
Yeah, they're spending like 5 hours a day talking to them in the pods to like kind of vet them for marriage, and this shit ain't coming up.
No, and I agree, and I feel like a lot of it's like they're making this as if it's a phase like that you do on like Hinge or Tinder and stuff, like when
Oh,
you're like
God.
just talking to them
It
to
feels
like
that,
just
yeah.
like yeah, like all the little hee hee ha ha
It's like,
kind of
oh,
shit.
that's
Just
so cool that you do that.
yeah, and I'm just like, but that's not like you can do that when you realize that this person is a potential. Like, don't waste your time on like a non-potential kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like why waste yourself on all this shit? Like, you know, if it was like in any other culture, if we're talking about like Chinese culture or Asian cultures in general, like the fact that if you've been divorced, it looks terrible on you. And like, you know, all this shit kind of does matter. Like, I don't want to say it matters, but like in reality, it freaking does matter, right? Like
Mhm.
things like that is like something that a lot of people take into consideration. Like, oh, if they are divorcee, you kind of wonder why the divorce happened.
Yeah.
You know, why the engagement broke.
Well, and
you
that,
know, like
that did come into play in this season with Izzy and Johnny, where he found out she was divorced, but because she was like in love with a previous person.
no, I don't know if that's like kind of sort of is that really where he kind of felt
Yeah,
like it
that's
ain't
where,
it?
That's where he fell off. Yeah, because she like got married to the dude on a rebound essentially, and she had said that. So he was like, "Damn, I don't want to be like that," and then he was like, "Cut it."
Fair.
Not like
fair.
immediately, but I think that was like his major reasoning.
I mean, that's I guess, but like, yeah, I think we both agree that like, you know, things like that is something to always take into consideration,
Yeah.
right? So, okay, Now, that being said, season 3 being the absolute shit show that it was, and then
Yeah.
what happened? Who was in season? What was in season 4 again?
Season 4 was Chelsea and Kwame. Uh,
Oh yeah, is that whole jazzy shit.
yeah, the only
But
real drama there was the woman who is essentially a child, and Marshall. I forget what her name was. She
damn
looked
it.
she
Okay,
looked a little bit like Raven, like she had the wavy hair. Jackie.
Jackie.
Yeah, Jackie and Marshall, and then Jackie and Josh.
Hold on. Let me go to season 4.
I hope everyone out
Oh,
there is
it was like
fans of the
there
show.
was a wait. Oh my god, they actually list like a bunch of all the couples, not even the ones that were showing.
Oh, really? That's cool. Yeah, a lot of the
Okay,
couples like don't get to be on the show, which is
no.
kind of whack.
Okay, so for season 4, Tiffany and Brett, which is
Yes,
like
Tiffany and Brett, the
the
dream.
gold couple,
Yeah.
and then you have Zach and Bliss, the
Oh, I
weird
forgot about
couple.
them. Yeah, but they work. They're just both weird.
I mean,
I was a
like
hater.
embrace.
I was a hater, but they're vibing with each other. They're making it work for them.
Yeah, I think like at the end of the day, if Bliss is like willing to give him the shot and everything like that, then yeah, like it works. But
Yeah.
um, I just wish that he didn't have to go through that mistake with
No,
Irina
yeah,
first. You
that's
know?
kind of just unfortunate at this point. Like I don't even blame him anymore. Like that just kind of sucks.
Yeah, and then we have Chelsea and Kwame, which I still kind of feel like blink twice if you feel like you're held captive
Oh
Kwame
my
kind of
god,
situation.
he's fine. I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, is what I thought initially, but like, I think if they work kind of thing. And then you have Jackie and it was Jackie and Marshall, which was an absolute shit
Yeah,
show
train
that we
wreck.
all saw, so bad. And then Jackie ended up going out, being with Josh. And then guess what the fuck happened? All this talk about like my rider died, my da 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 da, and then they're broken up.
Yeah, don't date immature people.
Legit, like the dude does not treat you like a queen, like
No,
at all, like
they were like acting like they were 16.
literally. And I'm like, honestly, I felt like Marshall was like more emotionally stable and like level-headed about the whole situation, but that's not what she wanted. She wanted a bad boy who can like throw her
Yeah.
around or something.
Well, Marshall
Like
fell
I'm
into
just
the trap of like kind of like going after a lost puppy kind of thing.
yeah, like I think he did admit that like he saw her as like a fixer-upper type of
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, like he's like one of those empathetic dudes who fall into that trap.
Yeah, but
It's not a good trap. I've gotten out of
I
a couple.
I mean, I agree. It's not a great trap to be in, but like, I'm sure he's happier now. I think,
Oh, for
dude.
sure. I think he got engaged to somebody already. Or
Oh,
he's
really? I thought it was
yeah.
just a girlfriend.
Oh, maybe it's just a girlfriend, but he was definitely happier.
I mean, he's happy, and that's all I can really like hope for him because I felt like he was done pretty fucking
He
dirty in
was
that
done
situation.
real dirty.
And then you have Micah and Paul, which is like the most confusing little thing
Well,
ever.
Paul is like Milton and Uche. He's a robot. I don't know how they like interview these dudes and they're like, all right, you're in. Like where he's just like, I like I like my women like Legos. I like to have them with instructions and I can do follow the algorithm and everything is good. Like like he has
Yeah.
no fucking charm at all.
I feel like they always gotta have one nerd in the show,
I guess.
and that season was Paul.
Yeah, well, Zach was like a nerd, but he was more of like a nerd who's into magic, you know. Like I feel like he knows card tricks and shit.
I mean, I believe it too.
Yeah.
If he told me he knew card tricks, I'll believe it.
Whereas Paul's like, look at this new number I invented.
But then, like, you have Milton, who is like, look at my rock.
I love rocks. You should see things in a more logical way, Lydia. You should not be emotional.
I mean, I feel like if there's one thing to know is like, I kind of felt like based on like the interaction they had in the pods, I felt like that was how Milton always is, and it's not like something he's gonna be changing.
No, it's not out of character for him at all.
Exactly. So it's just kind of like, and to be fair, I feel like Lydia did like put him second anyway. I low key felt like she pressured him into like the situation. Like she was very desperate to get married, whether
Yeah,
it's for
well,
like
she came off strong in every interaction. She was like, "I love you, like I going to dream about you tonight." I can do that accent, by the way, because I'm also Puerto Rican, so I'm not being a jerk.
But like, yeah, you get what I mean, right? Like, it felt like she's like had this intent, like, oh, I want to get married, whether it's for the show or whether it's for her
Yeah.
own like satisfaction. Is the fact that she pressured him into like this whole situation,
Yeah,
because it's like
and he's
literally
just a baby
she,
boy.
yeah, because literally her first choice was freaking Izzy anyway, and I don't understand this attraction towards Izzy at all.
I think it was just a really bad pool of candidates. Like Izzy was the the best of the worst.
Is he though?
I I mean, it's a sad state of affairs, but quite possibly. Like who's
Like,
better than Izzy? Maybe Milton, but he's a baby.
like, okay, let's break down the characters
Break it
really
down.
quickly. Okay, let's break down the
The
failed.
characters, not even the people.
The fact that they only have 3 couples that actually like
Yeah, they had 3
made it
couples that
through.
made it out, and 2 couples like who made it out of Mexico, like out of the honeymoon.
Yeah, I know. The fact that they only have 3 to make it out of pods in general is like, wow. Let's talk about JP.
Oh god.
JP, like when I saw him, like I feel like I'm just not very jarred about like people wearing America kind of
Yeah.
outfit and stuff like that anymore, just because like Zach kind of does that sometimes, like, but it's not like like it's not like his everyday attire
No,
kind
that
of
was
thing. You know what I
JP's
mean?
everyday attire.
Okay, yeah, that was the thing. It was his like that was kind of like where I was like, this is gonna be his everyday attire, huh? And I was like,
You know, my sister, she kept asking me where he was on January 6th. And I was
what?
just like, that's a very valid question.
I don't want to judge a book by its cover, obviously, because that's just like,
Yeah.
you know, you can be patriotic, but not like be a freaking menace to society.
No, like, he didn't, like, go super crazy with the patriotism other than, like, the clothes and, like, for, like, at least what they showed, he was being, like, vulnerable and, like, talkative for a lot of the
In
early
the pod.
episodes. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny because I was telling Zach about him because I was like, oh, I think you'll like him. He's like,
Oh,
one,
no.
he's like very patriotic, like you are. And then, like, he wears cowboy hats, cowboy boots, like you, and he's a fireman. And I was like, you might relate to him.
Oh, boy.
And then he sees, and then like he doesn't see him in the pods. The first episode he actually saw him was at the freaking Mexico trip, and he was like,
no.
"What's wrong with this dude? Why is it like?" I'm just like,
Dude,
I don't know.
I actually think he has brain damage. Like, he's
Dude,
permanently stuck at the age of, like, 12 or something.
I
It's like,
really,
you look different when you wear makeup. He
Like,
has two
I really-
sisters. He has 2 sisters, because I know it because you mentioned them.
I totally forgot that he said that he had 2 sisters. But like, even aside from that, it was just kind of like, it was funny because Zach was like, "What does he even say? Like, why would you say it like that?" And I was just like, all right, break it down for me. How would you tell a girl that they like you prefer them not with makeup, right? Like, how would you re like word everything he just said to her?
I prefer
he
your
was like-
natural beauty.
Well, he was like, well, first of all, you compliment them
Yes.
on like, yeah, you compliment the girl on like how beautiful she looks with the makeup because this is like she took the time
Yeah,
to
it's
do it.
effort.
Like, yeah, it's like the effort, the time that, and she did it for you.
And
Like, it's not like
she didn't even look bad. Like,
no, I don't think she like you know who did look scary though. Stacy always looks scary with her cheek makeup, but that's a whole different story.
okay,
And then
so I
like,
think because I'm a we'll talk about that later. Because I think because I'm a guy, I didn't notice, but I've heard someone else say that.
but like it was just the fact that the way he worded things, I felt like could have been done a lot better. Like everything that was coming out of his mouth just felt like it could have been worded a lot better. And like
Yes.
even Zach was like saying like, oh, this is like wrong. He should have worded it this way or like
Well,
that way. And I'm like, thank you for understanding, like, you know.
yeah, basic human interaction. What's worse though is that the times when he wouldn't say anything, where she's like, "What do you think about this?" and he's just like he just wouldn't talk.
I know, and then Zach was also kind of like, "What's wrong with this guy? Is he okay?" I'm like,
I don't think
I
so.
don't know.
I don't think he's okay. He was like smiling after like they ended their relationship too, like a weirdo.
Yeah, they were just smile. He just kept like smiling and just,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
weird.
right. And I just didn't know what to make of it. And then I just like Taylor, like she's such a sweetheart too for like trying to make it work. And she obviously was vulnerable about like her insecurities
Yeah.
to him and everything. And I felt like it just felt like he didn't really take that into account that she's vulnerable, like she's very insecure about the way she looks,
I don't think he
you
took
know?
anything into account. I don't think he can like. I think his brain is broken.
Or that too. But like that's what I'm saying. It's just kind of like if a girl tells you this is like dating 101 to any guy out there. If a girl tells you she's insecure about her looks, you
Attack
have
her
to take
looks.
no. You have to take that into account. You have to realize that when she puts makeup on, it's like her effort to make herself look good for to present to you. And like even if you don't like that type of makeup or even if you don't like makeup at all on her, it's kind of like you have to at least thank her for taking this effort, this time and everything to do it. But like you could always word it differently and be like,
Yeah.
you know, you can word it differently, be like, "Oh, babe, you look beautiful with the makeup," but I think like your natural beauty is perfect. You
Wait.
know, like something like that.
You know what? I think like he was just unable to put himself in her shoes because like I don't think he realizes that makeup is not just for the men; it's for the girl a lot of the time too. You know, she wears
Yeah,
it because
yeah,
she wanted to, not you know, for him. And he's like,
yeah,
"You put on a face." Like,
exactly. Like it's like for a girl, it can mean confidence. It can mean a lot of things. Like everyone puts, like a girl puts on a makeup for a lot of reasons. Like, I mean, nowadays it's like kind of normalized in Asia for guys to like kind of start putting on makeup. You know, like whether it's
not
like,
me. Get that
well,
shit
I
out of
said
here.
Asia. Well, I said Asia now, didn't I? But like, you know what I mean, right? Like guys in Asia nowadays are like either putting on some kind of like foundation to kind of hide blemishes or you can be like a K-pop star putting on eyeliner and lip gloss and yada yada yada. But
Hmm.
like the point is like makeup is a normalized kind of thing now in a lot of
Oh, for sure.
places, and not just for like you know, the target isn't always towards female now because like you have, you know, beautiful drag queens who also do like very beautiful like artistic like
Oh,
makeup
he
for
would be so
themselves.
confused by the concept of a drag queen.
I think so
He would
too.
not understand it at all.
I think so too.
You know,
But like
he reminds me. Sorry, he reminds me
yeah.
of like how babies are, where like if you like shave your beard, they won't recognize you. That's what it felt like because he was like, "You looked so different in your makeup, like you know, like
Oh my God.
you were trying to be a different person." Like it felt like he actually could not tell that they were the same person when she had makeup on and off.
I mean, yeah. 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 Because I like, but I sometimes I do feel like I look like a different person with makeup on. But even then, I don't put like a lot of makeup on my face because Zach
Yeah.
prefers like, he's like,
Oh
I
yeah, how
like
did
it
he
when you're
say
just,
it?
like the first time he ever saw me with makeup on or like,
He was like,
well,
"Ah,
one, he's like, monster, holy
oh
water.
my god."
Like, he never like said I look bad in makeup or anything like that. You know what I mean? He always like say that, oh, like I look beautiful or pretty or whatever. Like he never once said anything about my makeup until I personally asked him. I was like,
Let's see.
do you I personally asked him and I was like, oh, do you prefer me with makeup or without makeup? And he's like, I prefer you without because you look beautiful. You look perfect just like being natural. And I was like, And like the
Yeah.
way it made me, like the way that made me feel is because one, I initiated that conversation, right? And
Yeah.
then like two, the way, and then obviously the way he said it was, it made me feel like, oh, so like he doesn't feel like he doesn't feel like the makeup is like, what's the better way of wording it? I guess like the way I'm trying to say it is that like he thinks makeup is great and all, but like me being natural is better.
Yeah, like you don't.
Like it's
It doesn't improve upon your natural beauty.
Yeah, like even I'd be like, oh, like because now whenever I go to weddings and stuff, I still like do a little bit of something, you know what I
Right.
mean, like eyeliner and like lipstick and stuff. But even then, he's like, it looks nice. Don't get me wrong. He was like, tell me I look beautiful and everything. Because if he doesn't, I'm gonna kick him in the balls. But like, it's like, but then like he still thinks like even if I were to just go like bare face without eyeliner, without lipstick, just like maybe like,
In a
you know,
tracksuit.
in a tracksuit, like my to show that I ran a marathon, all
Oh,
right.
oh.
But this is my New York City one, so yeah, like he never wants to tell me I look ugly, or he never wants.
I would hope not. Jeez.
And here I am telling him that he's not what I imagined I'll end up being with.
I can't
But
believe you say
anything,
that shit. That shocks
he's,
me as much as the first time you told me that.
he's so emotionally stable and so
I
confident
know.
that I feel like I have to take him down a notch sometimes. Like
Dude,
instinctively, I have to take him down a notch or something.
I wish we could all be as fucking secure as Zach, man.
I know, that's why I try to take him down
That's
a
why
notch.
I bring him down to our level.
Yeah, I try to drag him down. But like,
Oh,
yeah, it's just kind of like, it's like there's better ways to always word everything, and at the end of
yes.
the day, right? And like, I just think like he needs more better social interactions. Like, you can say he has two sisters, that's great and all, but like at the same time, like, how close is he to the two sisters? Like,
Yeah.
how much he interacts with them also kind of matters and everything like that. Because Zach like sees his little sister pretty frequently when she still lived in the house, you
Yeah.
know, and it's like interacting with her a good amount. And it's like, it all in the end of the day, it just all matters about like how much interaction they have, and
That's
that
true.
like, and then yeah, like that being said, is like I feel like he just needed to be kind of sort of. Because like I guess when I'm thinking back on it, like the vibe he kind of gave me was kind of sort of like almost like he was a shut-in or something like that.
Yeah, no,
Like
I
he doesn't really,
agree.
right? He doesn't have like a lot of social interaction. And I guess as a fireman, like like unless like as
Well,
a fireman you work with like your other colleagues and stuff, but like
yeah, maybe he's like the outcast fireman.
I mean, even if you're not the outcast fireman, like what else do you like? You don't really interact with like you're literally only interacting with dudes all the time.
With
But
the
even if you
boys.
don't. Yeah. But like even if not like, you're on the job, like so you're, going to calls or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, he
I
interacts with
mean,
the flag a lot. I'm sure he talks to the flag.
maybe.
Says the pledge
Maybe.
every day.
Oh my gosh, I don't even remember the Pledge of Allegiance, to be
I
honest.
unfortunately do, because I went to. At your school, did they make you say it every day?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still
I
remember it.
I pretty much washed that out of my brain to fit other things into my brain.
That's good. My memory's too good. I
My
I just be.
memory's a goldfish.
It's a blessing. You don't need memories, only vibes.
Nope. Nope. Yep. Exactly. All I want is vibes, no memories.
Yeah. Jeez.
But
Well, that's
yeah, so
JP.
that's JP and Taylor. Taylor, I feel like
Taylor was fine. I didn't have any issues with her.
I agree. I just felt like I hope she finds someone else.
I'm sure she
that's
will.
better.
Like
And then
she's a good communicator, good person.
yeah, I mean she's a teacher, so I feel like
Yeah.
she definitely right. Next is Lydia and Milton.
Milton.
Like
You,
honestly,
wait, can I say first is that he chooses to have his name be Milton? That's not even his first name.
I know it's like it says it in the
Yeah.
Wikipedia, James Milton Johnson the fourth.
That's crazy that they like allow them to use their full name.
I
I
mean,
would say like, yo, my name is John Cena.
no, you have to use their full name, I think, because they have to vet you out. Make sure
Well,
you're not a
like to the
crazy person.
producer, but they don't gotta like put it on the like on air, you know.
Well, he didn't say his full name. It was
Well,
his family.
well, yeah, I don't know. I would just be like, you don't have permission to say my full name,
But,
because then like all the Instagram people are gonna get me.
oh my gosh. I don't even know if he has Instagram. He comes off as a guy who doesn't have an Instagram.
No, he probably like has an account on rocks.com or something.
You know what? Hold on.
Geos.gov.
Let me just do a quick search real quick.
Oh, portion of the show where Anna does Instagram stalking.
Found him.
That was.
He does have an Instagram.
Of course he does. They all have Instagram, and it's the cause of all evil in the show.
And like his Instagram, I feel like it's only 21 posts, and his Instagram picture is like hella funny looking.
Oh god, is it like a meme?
It's his hair. It's like he looks like he has like a very 70s looking hair where he's like full head of hair, right? And it's like comes up to here and it like hangs out to the back too.
God, he's doing like Jerry curls or something.
Oh my god, he has a fucking Charizard card?
Of course
and
he
it's
does.
a Japanese version?
Of course he does.
Well, I think
And he's
I
still
think
the
I
most
remember
eligible bachelor on the show.
he did mention like what's it?
Yeah, he was a competitive Pokemon player.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
I had a friend
see
who's
him.
also a competitive Pokemon player.
I don't even understand how you play. Pokemon
They do it
cards.
like on a website or something.
Oh. Still don't understand how it works, but okay.
Yeah, that shit's crazy. He tried to explain it to me once, and I was just like, oof, it's a bit much for me, bro.
So like the dude like he's only got 21 pictures, right? Or posts. And yeah, it's like it's like travel pics kind of, I guess, and then like one random pic of him on a car.
On
and
a
then
car?
like sitting on a car, you
Oh,
know,
okay.
like it's like a beamer, so he's like sitting on it, like posing
I
and shit,
see.
you know what I mean? That basic shit.
Yeah.
There's not much else to it. His like vibe that he gives me is definitely Paul vibes.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. He's definitely more eloquent than Paul, though.
Yeah, but I think like I do agree that he's very, very much on the logical side, that he's not really showing any like emotional empathy or anything like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And like I definitely like noticed like he's like, you know, anytime like there's any emotional kind of responsibility, he like kind of deflects it. Like when
Yeah.
his sister was like, "Why are you getting married?" and she's just like, "Yo, can you chill, bro?"
Yeah, but I
Like
feel
he just kind of
but
wants to go with the flow.
but at the same time I'm kind of like it feels very age appropriate. I don't want to say it, but I am gonna say it like it does, just
No,
because
I feel that.
like he's 25, like, and he's gonna get married. Like
Doesn't understand the consequences.
maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Like, 'cause his friend is vouching for saying like, yeah, he acts like a kid and everything, but like he's very like serious in doing what he has to get done or whatever. Like it made him sound like a responsible
Yeah, no,
person.
I think he's like responsible for his age, but like at the same time, like relationships are one of those things where like experience matters. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I guess so, but like at the same time for him it's just kind of like I don't want to like
Do you think it's gonna work?
25 are you like but like are you really thinking about marriage at 25?
I think not in the way that someone at age 30 is thinking about it.
Yeah, like that's what I'm thinking too, right? Like that's why like when it's a girl who's younger than a guy, I'm just kind of like whatever, because a lot of times girls think about they want to get pregnant and stuff, and like when you're younger it's kind of like it's fine, it's easier to get pregnant, it's easier to bounce back and all these things like that. But when
Mhm.
you're older, like how Lydia is, like she's approaching to the age where a lot of us medical people would be like, she would be considered like a geriatric pregnancy. Like even though she's not geriatric, but like this is like the term we use because like once you hit past like once you hit 35, your complication risk like shoots up.
I don't think she's 35 yet, but I
No,
guess
she's 32.
I guess by the time they would have kids.
Like she's 32 right now, and I feel like is Milton even ready for kids? Like you're
Probably
25,
not.
bro. Yeah, that's
Well,
what
I
I'm
think
saying.
he
It's
wants to
just
get
like,
his PhD too, or something. They mentioned. So.
but that's like, yeah, like that's like what freaking 4 years,
Yeah.
maybe. I
Although
don't know.
my advisor in grad school did have kids while he was going for his PhD, but he's also kind of a weirdo, and he'll admit that he. Whenever like he would be late on an email, he would be sorry. He'd say, "Sorry, man, I got too many kids," and it's true. He has like 6 kids.
Dude, what the fuck?
He has 6 fucking kids, and he teaches like his wife takes care of him. I guess I don't know.
Sure, I guess. Like, I
So
feel
it is
like
possible to do PhD with a wife and kid, but I don't know
yes.
if everyone can.
I mean,
Or
I
want
agree.
to.
Right, I do agree. Like, sure. Like anyone can be in any life situations, really, if they like
Yeah, if
really
they're,
just
like,
kind of go
really down
with
with
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the question is like, is Lydia gonna be down with it? Is like, because like obviously with a PhD, you're not gonna get paid much for like for whatever you're doing as a TA or whatever,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm not
And
really sure like what his like thoughts about kids and stuff was. I don't really remember.
I think he said like later when he met when he met her family. I think he's like 2, and then like but he's like, but that's a later kind of
She's
story.
practically in the crypt already.
Exactly. Her eggs are rotting. But like anyway. No, but like I mean, okay. Well, I mean nowadays and with technology and stuff like that, you can always preserve your eggs, yada yada yada. That's fine. I just think like she's a very emotional person and he's a very like logical type of person, and like not to say it can't work or anything like that, but like it's the fact that he still has like immature aspects to him that makes me really question it.
He's logical except when it comes to putting his damn towel on the rack. Like, how we do that? Like, it takes as much time to put the towel on the floor as it does to hang it up.
Like, not only like dishes, like just hanging out on the sofa or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's like little things like that does bother me too, but just because it's kind of like you're not thinking about like the consequences of this situation.
You know what it is? His roommate's not tough enough on him. When I had roommates, there was always at least one clean freak who would get on my ass if I left something in the sink.
Maybe his roommate is just the same.
Yeah, well, definitely. Yeah, his roommate's too chill. He needs a type A roommate like I had.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to be going hard on anybody about anything, right? It's just a matter of like courtesy. Like leaving a dish in a sink for a day is like whatever, in my opinion. But like if you leave a dish out with a half-eaten sandwich on a fucking sofa, then yeah.
Well, yeah, it's about considering the other person.
Yeah, because it's like, what if you just keep piling dishes? Like one day is whatever, right? But when you start piling dishes up and like,
yeah, unless you're going through like a depression or something.
Literally piling dishes up and then you guys have no dishes to use or pots or pans. I've like experienced that before with my like roommates in Buffalo, and I was like absolutely obviously pissed off about it
because it sucks.
Yeah, because we're literally playing freaking stack the dishes, and if it falls then you're gonna have to do the dishes. It was ridiculous, and we have a double sink too, so it was like it was like so bad. Like we used up all the fucking like dishes, utensils, and like pots and pans and everything. I'm like, God, why is it so fucking hard for people to clean their dishes?
You girls are even more disgusting than the guys, man.
No, it was guys.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough then.
It was literally, I was living with one other girl, and it was my ex and another guy who's our friend, and not to be mean or anything, but that guy knows he's kind of sort of the reason why there was a dish Jenga in the sink, because he does freaking use the dishes and Jenga that shit. And like, I think all of us are just kind of petty about it and didn't want to do the other person's dishes, so it
Oh
kept
my
getting
god.
worse. But anyways, yeah, but like I do agree, it's just like courtesy, like
Yep.
you use something, just clean it. But
That's it.
that's
Simple.
just I know it's really fucking simple.
Yeah.
But like,
Sorry, I was just gonna go on more rants about the dishes, as
no go.
as our listeners want to hear. I don't really get like how people are so like anti doing the dishes. I feel like doing the dishes is like the easiest fucking thing in the world. You know?
I mean, yes, I agree too. And if you have a dishwasher, like
Yeah,
just
even easier.
like I know, just like rinse off whatever gunk that's on the dish and then just put it in and it'll clean the rest.
Yeah, like I put on like my fucking, I almost said iPod. I put on like I go on my phone, I put on a song, I put my earphones on, and I fucking just do the dishes in like 4 minutes.
Like even it's like kind of sort of like even like how much dishes do you really have when you like cook and stuff? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, unless you're cooking some crazy ass meal, and it's not that much.
Who's got time? Who's like chefing it up in the kitchen to be having like that much time to be
You
doing that?
chop up the onions, you gotta use another chopping board, maybe. I don't know. Gordon
Like
Ramsay.
like who yeah, who the fuck out here is trying to be Gordon Ramsay it up and shit like that? But I think like even when I like if I'm cooking, I always like clean while I cook too,
Yes,
because there's
exactly.
like yeah, there's always time in between like that you can clean and stuff, and then on top of that, you can always like a chopping board can like obviously don't put meat and then vegetable on your chopping board. Like there should be two separate chopping board for your vegetables and your meat. But like, if you're freaking chopping vegetables, don't like just chop your onions and then not use that cutting board and use a different cutting board to chop your tomatoes or
I don't
something.
want my celery to taste like onions.
Ugh.
It's
I just wonder, like, why
because
I,
he's young and spoiled a little bit, I guess.
like, I feel like not that can't be the real reason because I feel like other 25-year-olds like that's probably like similar to him aren't like that. I just feel like maybe it's just how he is, like what he's used to and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's
And
what I'm saying. The spoiled, like maybe his mom like picked everything up for him or something.
maybe, but like I don't know. I didn't really get that vibe from.
No, I didn't exactly either. But then like, he's leaving dishes on the fucking couch now. So I like Lydia was kind of right to be kind of upset about that.
No, I agree. Like it was right for her to get mad about the towels and the floor and the dish on the couch and all that shit like that. But like it literally feels like she's momming him.
Yes, I said that too when I was like watching. I was like, you might have even been there, where it's like this feels like a mom-son relationship.
Right? Like it doesn't feel like an actual like couple relationship because there's like this weird dynamic where it just feels like a mom and a
Yeah,
son.
it's something.
Can't do this, man. Can't do this.
Do you think
It's
do you think
like
they're gonna get married?
I want to say no.
Do you think
I
the other
really.
couple's gonna get married?
Oh gosh. All right. Are we done with talking about Lydia and Wilson?
Unless you have something else to say about them.
No, it's a mom and a son relationship.
It-
Anyways,
it's kind of it.
so going back to what you were saying about like the makeup for Stacy, it's like her cheek makeup is so like just there, not really well blended.
I'm
It's
gonna
like
have to like pay attention next episode or something. Well, next episode's the wedding. I'll have to rewatch an episode or something.
I can't remember cheek makeup ever being a thing like that, like the way she's doing it, because
Well,
it just feels like
is it just like blush that's not mixed in, or foundation, whatever? I don't know makeup. Actually, I shouldn't talk. This should
I
just be
think
the Anna show.
yeah, I think it was bronzer from what I remember.
Hmm.
That she like just had like streaks that just goes like right below her cheekbone or something like that.
Maybe she's part of a
It,
tribe.
Okay, sure. But like usually what you would do is like you would try to blend it out, right? So like
Mhm.
it looks like it's giving a shadow, so it looks like you have high cheekbone is what it's supposed to do. But
Oh,
the
okay.
fact that like yeah, but the fact that she literally just has like two streaks going like this on her face, I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
What is this a thing? Like I don't know. I'm not really like my makeup game ain't that strong, nor have I been using makeup a lot anyway. But like it's not me who only has this opinion too, because like I've seen other people on Instagram and stuff like that that has the same opinion, like
Mhm.
saying like the makeup is like not giving, yo. Like,
I feel like she's also somebody who like looks very different when like in the scenes where she's wearing makeup versus not.
oh my god, Zach was like she took off her mask, and I'm
Oh my
like,
god, Zach. That's see if JP was dating her, then it'd be a bit more valid.
but like. Yeah, I very much agree. Like her without makeup and her makeup is very different. I think like,
Not
but
that either is bad.
my initial thought was like it wasn't even about the cheek makeup because I didn't see the cheek makeup until later. It was her
Yeah,
like the way she
eyes.
does her eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah, her
no,
eyes.
exactly. I was like, that's a different fucking person.
Like, but like the way she does her eyes, I'm like, are you trying to like give evil stepmother vibes
Oh
or
god.
like what is happening here? Like, I don't know why. It's just like the way she does her eyes, I'm like, don't understand it in a sense where like it's not giving me like ooh fashion model on a runway type of vibe. It's giving me like evil stepmother vibes for some reason,
Jeez.
or a witch. I don't know whichever
A
one you want to
witch.
take, but
Happy
I don't know whichever
Halloween.
one you want to take. But like those were the vibes I was getting. But I'm like, if this is what she thinks looks good, then I guess this is what she thinks looks good.
Sure. I mean, I'm not really one to judge. I don't know. Like, is she? I don't know. Who do you think is like the most attractive of the women in this season? Are any of them really that attractive?
Hmm.
I don't know why for like this reason I didn't really like have anyone who was like, wow.
I feel like they didn't really show a lot of people to like they. So there was okay. I think I told you, like, there's a minister on this show,
Mm-hmm.
and she's listed in the participants too. She's a 25-year-old minister, and they never
Okay.
showed her once.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I saw her at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like they didn't really show a lot of the other like people. They really mainly show the ones that were like kind of juicy and stuff like that. Everyone
Yeah.
else was just kind of like blended away. But like there is a lot of other like personnels in this show. It's just they never freaking showed it. And I was like kind of interested in knowing more about this minister person as like and why they chose to come on and everything like that.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
But yeah, there's like another guy who's a geoscientist that didn't catch Lydia's eye
Damn,
apparently.
it could have been it.
And but yeah, like and there was like a personal trainer. And I think I remember Stacy doing like some type of class or whatever, fitness
Yeah,
class.
she was doing something. Yeah.
Like I felt like a lot of these people were just kind of thrown under the rug because
Yeah, I
we
have no
barely saw
idea.
them. Yeah, we just barely saw them. We don't
Yeah,
know who
I
all these people are.
I wish like maybe like after the feedback of this season, like they just kind of like decide to widen the scope and like show us more people, because they have like the footage. You know, they're just picking and choosing,
Yeah,
but
see,
people want to see it. You know.
I agree because here's my thoughts. I'm like, I don't need to see a couple making out in the shower or what the fuck ever.
Yeah, I don't want to see
Like
like
I
two
was
trash bags blowing in the wind. I want to see like I want to see love.
like, yeah, like literally when I was watching, I'm like, why are you showing me like shower scenes and all these things like that? I didn't ask for this. I came here for either love or drama. I didn't come here for no like sexy time scenes. I came here for the other
Yeah, we
stuff.
go somewhere else for
Yeah,
that.
called something.com. Anyways.
Don't.
But like, you know, it was just kind of like, what are you guys doing? Is it because you only have three couples and this is what you're trying to do to milk it or something? Like,
It's definitely feeling the effect of having like limited couples, I guess. You gotta tell me what the deal is with that one couple that just got completely cut.
So it showed that they like apparently had like a connection and got engaged, but I didn't get to deep dive into it yet. Just
Oh.
yet because I completely forgot about it until now. And I don't remember her name either.
I think it
So
was like
hitting a wall.
Renee and Carter.
Oh, okay. So
See, this is like I use all this memory space for this dumb shit. I could know so many math equations.
Carter Wall is his name,
And he likes to fish.
and he likes to fish. Is he? There's a fisherman.
Fish theorem.
Love it. Oh, it says he's in construction, and Renee is a veterinarian.
That's cool.
Yeah, so apparently, like, there's a secret marriage or something like that.
Did they get married?
No, it's not that they got married. It's more like he threatened to have it cut, like, any of their scenes cut out because, like, he has a secret marriage.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, so I need to, like, dive in a little more as to, like, why.
We'll follow up next time on that.
They did get engaged, though.
Yeah, they got
Apparently.
engaged. I mean, I know there's like that rumor that Milton had a girlfriend before the show.
Wait, what's also weird is that they were also in Mexico.
Yeah, like they apparently they filmed like the whole thing with them, and they just didn't show the footage. So that might be explain some of the weird like scene inclusion in this, is that they intended on having them in the show, but then I guess some like issue came up where they couldn't.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not the producer's fault for once. I'd be shocked, but it's possible.
I don't know. I gotta dive into this like sometime later or something like that for as to like what actually happened. But like,
Get the scoop.
yeah, I guess like they did like make it all the way to Mexico. It just wasn't shown on air, and then they actually like from what I just quickly read, it's like they actually made it to the altar too.
Yeah.
But she said no.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I mean, she would always be second place to fish.
Aww. But she's a veterinarian.
I know, it's very sad and ironic.
I know. Anyways, going back to Stacy and Izzy, like,
Oh yeah, that bald fuck.
I don't know, like, I feel like people start telling me like, oh, she's growing on me. I'm like, when does that happen?
I don't know. It's hard to kind of get a grasp on either of them, to be honest.
Neither of them ever grew on me.
Izzy just like has a weird energy to him. I don't know if it's like that his face just looks like he's always hiding some sort of pain. Like he always has that weird nervous smile where he's just like.
I guess, but I think like.
Do you not feel weird vibes from him?
No, I did feel weird vibes with him, which is why I never vibe with like any of them. You know, none of these people like made me feel like invested into their like story arc.
No, I would never, like, if I met these people in real life, I wouldn't spend time with any of them.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. It's just kind of like with Stacy, I'm just like, you look scary and like a bitch, and she kind of is a bitch.
But I mean, but she does come from money. So does that change anything?
No, it really just makes her sound more like a bitch.
She's from the Stacy family estate.
Dude, the fact that she like expects a guy to like pay for everything and yada yada yada, I'm like, okay.
I think didn't her dad say like, you know, she expects first class flights or something?
Yeah, and always like a guy picking up the check.
Yeah, she's like she wants to travel the world.
Which is like, okay, great for you, but like, bro.
Like, damn, she don't got a bank account?
I know, like, was it her that said that she didn't have money or something like that? Like, they didn't really have any money? Or her grandfather didn't?
Yeah, no.
She was saying her grandfather didn't really have any.
Her grandfather pulled himself up from his bootstraps. That's
which is great, but that's your grandfather. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, why are you bringing your grandfather into this? Like, any freaking immigrant
Elon
family
Musk's grandfather didn't have any money either.
Exactly. Like, any immigrant family can be, like, started out with nothing and now we're here kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
Like my family can do that. Like your family can probably do that. Like any family can be like,
We still ain't got nothing. Started from the
well,
bottom, stayed there.
still here, yeah. But like, yeah, but it's just kind of like, why you trying to go off of like your family's successes and not your own kind of shit?
Well,
Like,
I think she tried to go off her own, and she's like, I worked very hard to get where I am, but I'm like, I'm 80% sure she works for her father's company.
that's what I feel too. Like, I'm almost certain that like how she got to where she is was pulls from her family.
Yeah, like, even if it's not her father's company, like, you know, she used her resources that she had available to get where she is. Not that she didn't work, but like, it wasn't like, she's not in the mines slaving away.
Yeah, to literally work from the bottom. Funny thing is that I recently, when I was having dinner like not too long ago at this like pretty new, pretty upscale restaurant, and
Mm.
then me and my friend were sitting there, and then this like old dude and this like younger looking girl comes in, and all I can think about in my head was, hmm,
Money.
this could be a prostitute and like a client. That's a possibility because it literally felt like that. Like the
Jeez.
girl was like dressed it wasn't like skanky or holy or anything, but she was definitely like dressed nice, but also like kind of revealing type of way in her
Yeah.
dress. You know what I mean? And the guy was like twice or her age, like her dad, like could
Was
be
it
her
like a
dad.
silver fox or was it like a geriatric
No,
patient?
yeah,
Oh
like he
no.
was the bigger dude and all that jazz. That's why I'm
Oh
like,
god.
this could be a prostitute and her client kind of situation and shit like that. And then
Yeah.
like they were like the table next to us, and it was like me and my friend literally can hear all the conversation that was happening that between them. So, but then like in the end, it wasn't like a prostitute, but like she was literally like saying like, oh, he keeps ordering shit off the menu for her. Like he's like, I know what you like, I know what you like. And honestly, like it felt like a
Ah,
little bit aggressive, in my opinion, and just kind of
I hate that.
like, is this your sugar baby? Is this what's happening right now? Like,
Oh,
if it
100%.
is, then okay, maybe it's that situation. It's a sugar baby situation. I don't fucking know. And then and then eventually the conversation goes into like her being like, oh, why don't you help me get a job? And he's like, well, tell me what you want to do and I can try to help you, but you're not telling me what you want and stuff like that. And I'm just
Hmm.
like,
Hmm.
wow, we're in this situation. Okay.
Interesting.
It was quite the interesting conversation to sit through ish. It still made me wonder what kind of relationship it is, because it definitely ain't a daughter and son or daughter and father situation, because it definitely doesn't feel that way. Because she
Uh-huh.
literally was like talking about a guy that she met and something, I think like her dad likes him or something like. I just know it wasn't
What the
that.
hell?
Dude, it's weird. Like the world is such a weird place, and I feel like people with money are such weird people a
Yeah.
lot of the
It's
time.
because they can get away with being weird.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess. I've recently found out that Elon Musk and that other girl is like divorced and they have 3 kids together and they're all weird names.
Oh, like the barcode names. Like
Yeah.
XX30 or like.
Well, that's the first one. Apparently the other two are like kind of like that, but not really. I don't know. I can't remember what it was. I just remember it was like really weird.
I
But
mean, I
like this
believe
dude
it.
is like trying to impregnate a bunch of women or something too. Like his
Yeah,
first
that's the
wife
Nick
was like,
Cannon method.
oh gosh, these fucking people, man. Just fucking snipped them already.
Oh, if only.
Like, how many kids does Elon Musk even have now? It's like way too
Probably,
many
yeah,
for my
probably too
liking.
many. Like, the dude doesn't even have like particularly good genes.
No, they lose their hair. The
Yeah,
guys are gonna
they're
lose
gonna
their
look like
hair.
a reptile when they're like 30.
Yeah, and if they don't got like money to have good hair transplant, they're fucked.
Yep. Well, they will have the money. So,
It says, who knows? There's too many of them to like go around.
oh my god.
And then like nowadays with like the way
They're gonna be the first
Twitter,
colonists on Mars.
ugh, I used to think he was a smart dude. Now I just think he's some weirdo
Yeah, you thought he
with
was a
money.
smart dude when he wasn't when he before he started talking. When he
Yeah,
kept his mouth
exactly.
shut.
And just did what he had to do, and now he's just a fucking weirdo with
Yeah.
money. Anyways, but that's Stacy.
Anyways, that's Stacy.
And then Izzy. Izzy's just kind of like, I don't know what the fuck his deal is.
Yeah, I
Like,
can't
bro,
place him at all.
because it's kind of like, why didn't you tell Stacy about like your financial situation? Like, his argument is that it never felt like a good timing or something in the pods.
I
Like,
guess. But
but you
if
told
anything, that's
Johnny.
yeah. Because with I feel like with him and Stacy, they kept it like light and friendly, so that's why like the energy was good, and he wanted to marry her instead. Whereas Gianni, they talked about the real shit.
Which is so like dumb in my opinion. Why like you're gonna go with a girl for all the shits and giggles, but not once mention anything like you knew you had like debt or whatever the case, whatever
Well,
it is that he
debt
has.
isn't fun and sexy though.
Well, I mean, she got mad at him for not telling her, now
Yeah,
didn't she?
he's not even in like that bad of a situation. He just made it worse by lying about it.
Or hiding it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
not my omission, whatever it might be.
yeah, exactly. And then like also what else is like the other what else is going on for him? Like
He
the
has
fact
no
that he had
place.
yeah, like you've been living there for a year and a half and there's no thought behind like getting any type of like, dishware,
See, he
cutlery.
avoids the Milton problem because he can just throw it away.
Yes, but you're also spending a lot of money at the long run with all these like plastic utensils and all that shit, right?
That's why he's in debt. What about his treasure trove
Oh
of
my
paraphernalia?
god.
Where he's like,
Like
I didn't think I should hide that from you, babe.
like his excuse sounds so dumb when he was like giving it to her. Like, bro,
I'm
just
sure it sounded good in his head. It's like, yeah, she's gonna appreciate how open I'm being.
no one cares.
Well, yeah.
Like honestly, like your past is your past, and if you like, you can talk about it, but like, what's the fucking point of having actual items? Like
No.
on top of that, it's like items of people you don't know who it belonged to. Like that makes it even worse.
Yeah, no, like anyone who does that is like, to me, it is kind of like very, very sad. Like, why would you do that? You don't need to parade like your victory or some shit.
It's like literally a man child with him. He doesn't feel like he's good enough for her. And then she like says that it's because you don't do things that you said you were gonna do in the pods. And I'm like, this is literally the epitome of what a kind of like a fake ass dude does.
Yeah,
Where they like
promise
promise
big.
you, yeah, like promise you, oh baby, I will have home cooked meals for you, or I will rub your feet at the end of the day, da 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 da. But like, if you know you work early and come home late, then like, why would you promise shit like that? Or like, it's just kind of like, it's just, dude, don't fucking, do not promise what you cannot keep, because the worst thing you can do is that. Like, that just makes you sound like a liar. And if you ever freaking heard of the childhood story called The Boy Cries Wolf, that's exactly what they're trying to tell you.
Yeah, and when the wolves come, they're all those bitches aren't gonna save them.
Exactly.
That's the like epitome of someone who's like usually goes for like one night stands, is that because they can say all this shit because they don't have to actually deliver on it.
Right? And that's what made me also think about like, oh, he probably says this a lot as like a one night stand kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then he's now talking about flowers are for Mondays or something like that. And I'm like, is this guy trying to make the florist economy boom or something?
Yeah, I
Like,
don't know. That's a little bit of a cringe thing for me, but if it's like meaningful, then maybe. But it seems like he's just trying to like,
accommodate.
yeah, just trying to be like, oh, show his value. Like, I can do this. I can show you how much I love you with these flowers.
What if you like keep all these like flowers alive and they stay alive for 4 weeks and then you just have a bunch of
I mean,
flowers
that's a
everywhere?
great point. Where are these flowers going?
Because like in the end of the day, if you're, it's like hot, it's a freaking hot place down there. So don't they got bees and like all that jazz that would be coming
Yeah, they're gonna
towards
live
the
in the
flowers?
jungle.
You don't need to buy a flower every single like week or day. It's nice. It's a very nice gesture when it's like meaningful, right? Like you said, like oh,
Yeah.
flower
No,
for because
he just schedules the deliveries now.
yeah, like I agree. You can literally schedule deliveries, be like, hey, every Monday send flowers. But I
That's
think the other thing was like, so there was something I saw recently on like Instagram where it's a reel about this guy, um, where he talks about how he'll buy his girl flower and he'll take one flower out of like the bouquet and he'll keep that flower. So he'll when that flower starts dying, then he knows that it's time to replace the flower that he just gave her.
that's a little
Like
bit nicer. Shows more
that's
thought.
more, yeah, that's like actually more like that's like more chess games than what this guy is fucking doing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
he's playing fucking like Othello or some shit. I couldn't think
Like,
of a child's game.
uh,
It's peekaboo.
like peekaboo. Like, yeah, like when it's not like a scheduled thing, because nowadays anything can be scheduled, like you mentioned. It's like, oh, sometimes flowers die early, sometimes flowers die later. It's like you don't always need fresh flowers every single
Yeah.
week, but fresh flowers like
You know what he
is
should do?
nice to have.
Make
What?
her a meal every Monday.
Oh
Something
yeah, that would
practical
be
that would actually
nice.
help her.
And he's like saying, "Oh, I come home, I leave home early and then come home late." Bro, meal prep. If you meal prep, this wouldn't be like it's like meal prep is still making a meal,
Yes. It's making many meals.
and then like you can just meal prep, and then it would just be like easy to like say you made dinner because technically you did make it. All you just gotta do is reheat it, and it's like ready to go.
Yeah. And like not every dinner has to be a major production. Like fucking make a steak or a burger or something, dog. Like, come on.
And then like the fact that they went out to like the hangar and then did the whole plane ride thing and stuff like that, I'm like, this is like probably the one big grand gesture he's ever gonna do for her.
Oh yeah, he's really trying to like lock it in. He's just like, this is his Hail Mary.
My dude does not realize there's something called prenup where he's not gonna be able to touch her money or her family's
Oh
money.
my god.
Like his mom seems like such a sweet mom too.
Yeah, no, I feel. I don't want to say I feel bad because I don't think he's like the worst son, but like, yeah, his mom is so nice, and I can tell she tried really hard. And then he's just still kind of a fuckboy, even though he's like 30.
The way I see it is kind of like, don't you want to present yourself in a way where like your family's watching it? The fact that like your mom can probably
No,
watch the
he wants
older
to show off how
episodes.
many bitches he's got.
Exactly. Like, is your mom gonna be proud of that? No. Your mom's gonna be like, what the
That's my
fuck were
boy.
you doing?
That's my boy.
Like, yeah, it's just kind of like one of those things where I'm just kind of like, I don't know what to make of him. I don't
Yeah.
really particularly like him. Oh, I don't particularly like him because of like his interaction with Johnny.
Oh god, yeah. No, he was like so rough on her for like no reason. And then he
She,
retreats to Stacy.
oh my gosh. Oh yeah, and then what Stacy brought up was very true too. Like the fact that he's always like, he gets like
Mm-hmm.
really turned on when things get hot or like dramatic or whatever, and that's when he gets turned on or whatever. I'm just like, what the fuck,
No,
man?
I think Stacy sees through the bullshit.
No, she did bring it up when they had a
Yeah.
talk, and I'm like, okay, good for her for like calling
Maybe
it
that's
out and
why
shit.
people like kind of started warming up to her,
Maybe I don't know,
like
like
stuff like
none.
that.
It's like everybody is just kind of like meh in my opinion this season
Yeah.
because I'm like, there's nothing great about every single one of them. It's just like, oh, she's able to call out bullshit. Good for her. It's like that kind of stuff with Stacy, right? Like, okay,
It's
she
a
can
low
call out
bar
bullshit.
this season.
It's a very low bar this season. That's why I'm just kind of like whatever about it. But like, I think with Lydia and Milton, Lydia's like the fact that she blew up on Uche instead of just having a conversation is kind of like you let him get under your skin and
Yeah.
manipulate your feelings.
Yeah.
That's where you fucked up.
Yeah,
And the fact that like you could have walked away the first time, but you came back around anyway, that's where you fucked up again.
I don't, maybe it's like production or something, but I don't really understand like these people's like inclination to talk to any of these people. Why would Uche even want to go to that party? Why would anyone even bother talking to him?
I
Maybe I
mean,
just deal with things differently because I would just be like, bro, I'm not your friend. I don't want to talk to you.
well, I mean like Taylor and JP didn't go.
Yeah.
I think like Uche went with the intent of calling Lydia out for
Oh, for
being
sure.
the one being the one to ruin his relationship with Aaliyah. You know?
Which apparently
Like,
didn't happen, by the way.
yeah, they freaking tried dating afterwards and it didn't work out anyway, so whatever.
Yeah.
But like I think like his point is that like she ruined the experiment for him. Like he legit went in there with the intent of like trying to find someone and she ruined it for him by like feeding a lot of things to Aaliyah on the other side.
I don't know. I
But at
just
the
don't
same
feel like
time,
that's how you deal with things. Like,
none of this how you deal with things. Because honestly, I'm just thinking like, okay, if Lydia was feeding me shit about her ex that I'm like into, just fucking separate yourself.
yeah, like I don't care, Lydia. I'm sorry. Don't talk to me about that.
Yeah, just draw the boundary. Like, be like, hey, I don't feel comfortable about listening to this or whatever. You have always to have the power to draw a boundary in like whatever you are like doing or whoever you're with. You always have the power to draw a boundary if you just voice it up.
Yeah, well, I don't think Lydia, or not Lydia. I don't think Aaliyah was like emotionally strong enough to make boundaries, which is why she needs to work on herself before trying to get in a serious relationship.
With Lydia, is like her character was already rocky for me, and then the fact that she let Uchi get under her skin and like completely like got emotional, broke down about it. I'm just like, you could have handled that a lot differently, in my opinion. But hey, this is how you're gonna handle it. Like Milton even pointed out at that dinner, like
Yeah,
you 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 like left twice. Like, but that literally means like you never left. And if you have to leave twice, it means you never left.
yeah. I mean, it seemed like she tried to leave, but I don't know. She was compelled not to. I guess I don't know. It's
Yeah,
very,
compelled to go back to like say her piece, which is
yeah,
like I kind of agree. Like she pretty much ousted him, saying that he cheated on her, right? So obviously, if that was really the case, well, because we don't know what's real and what's like he said, she said kind of stuff. But like, if that's really the case, then like, oh, him judging Aaliyah during in the pod about her cheating is pretty like hypocritical, right?
mm-hmm.
Um, I guess like when that was happening, I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's really harsh and everything." Um, that he was like grilling her about it and stuff, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
but
well, I think it's like
no.
I think his line of questioning wasn't terrible, but his like tone, because he just has that
Stern, very
stern,
stern type of.
holier than thou tone. Like you
Right.
didn't
I
think
I
that
can.
was the wrong thing to do. Like
Yeah, like it was a very like I agree. It was a very stern, very like
yeah, it comes down to like
fatherly
yeah,
scolding
the
type of
phrasing
thing.
too, just like JP, where like his
Yeah.
phrasing could have been better to get the same answer that he required, and he's a lawyer, he should know this.
Yeah, I guess I can kind of like see what you're getting at too. But I guess like for me, I was just kind of like it didn't feel that or seem that bad the way he was
No,
saying
but
things.
she's like a stick woman. Like if a wind blows, she's gonna knock over and start crying.
Yeah, because I think like his his questioning was valid in a sense like he's doing this for the purpose of legit finding to see if this girl is going to be cheating on him in the future or not, you
Yeah,
know? Like it's a
which
very
is
valid
valid.
like yeah, it's a very valid like question to have. And like I think like to I mean, I give props to her for admitting it, but like after admitting it, it's just kind of like she felt like she was fumbling all over the place as to like just produce an answer.
Yeah,
You know, it's like if you're admitting it, then own it. Like, just admit that, okay, I cheated. It was because I wasn't satisfied with the relationship. It only happened once, and I regretted it ever since. I just never told him because it was for me. Don't say it's never about the other person when you cheat, really. It's always about yourself, and it's always a
Mm,
selfish move, and I very much agree to it. So it's just kind of like the fact that the other thing was the fact that she tried to push it off to him, to the guy, was when I was
yeah.
like, that's why, like, at the very end of their conversation, didn't take what Uche was like saying and stuff as a harsh thing, you know? Because at the end of the day, she wasn't trying. She was just like saying it, but she wasn't trying to take responsibility, like full
Yeah, no,
responsibility for it.
her words definitely like warranted the response, but like as I think I told you, he's badgering the witness.
Uh, yeah,
She,
I know.
yeah, no,
But
she
like
just
he
wasn't
did.
emotionally stable enough to like, for his line of questioning.
I think the other thing was also like she left too soon because obviously he did at the very end said like I very much
Yeah, he
appreciate.
did kind of come back.
Yeah, like it's not like it was all for nothing.
No, yeah, but she was already gone.
Yeah, but I mean, back to like Stacy and Uche, like the fact that he was saying like, "Oh, these people are like, like messaging me saying like you're watching their stories and all these things like that."
Instagram, I'm telling you.
And like I was talking to some of my coworkers and they point out like, yo, I mean, if you're dating someone, wouldn't you like see who they are, like who are the other girls that they like are friends with or like that they hang out with and stuff like that? And I'm like,
Would
uh,
you?
I'm trying to think. Like, I
I
think,
personally wouldn't, but I know like I don't necessarily think it's, you know, bad or
I
good.
think, I think for me, I I remember when I first started like dating Zach, right? What I did was I pretty much look at who he's like friends with, like he actually friends with, right? As
Mm-hmm.
a girl, like actually post with them or whatever the case may be, and then I'll go to their profile. If it's public, then it's public. If it's private, then it's private. But if it's public, I'll just kind of see like
Yeah,
who
take a
is this
look.
person. Yeah, just kind of see like who is this person and why, like how important like is this person in his life. But for me, I guess it wasn't just the girls, it was also the guys. Like I was like legit scoping out his friend group to like
Yeah.
see like what type of person he hangs out with and all these things like that in general. But like I guess in this situation it sounds like it was just girls, and then like the fact that, but the other thing that was brought up to me was like, yo, if you, to know that this girl was looking at your story, you literally have to open your story and like look at everybody who's ever like seen your story and then like
Yeah,
literally find her.
I was concerned about that. I'm not the biggest Instagram person, but like, aren't stories put out there so you could like watch them? You just don't you like you can even like absentmindedly watch them. I feel.
Yeah, you can absolutely, like you can just have like a story run and then like just click and then just like speed run all the way
Yeah,
through. Like, you can just do that, but like,
I think that's
and
why
that's why
my
I'm just,
ex is still thinks I'm into them, because they're just like on the line of stories, and I just like click through it, and they're like, "Oh, you looked at my like," I was like, "Whatever."
but like yeah, it's like that, and that's why I'm kind of like wondering like does he even have a valid like argument in this situation? Like he's like, it sounds like he's convinced that she purposely destroyed his relationship and Aaliyah, and then it also sounds like he's like insinuating that Lydia was trying to go on this show to like make it seem like it's fate that they were meant to be to meet each other again, because she apparently made that commentary like, I think I'm gonna meet someone from my past or something like that.
I mean, I didn't see any footage where she said that, so that's just
I
a
don't know.
he said, she said.
Maybe we have to look back because
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know she like when she did meet Uche in the pod, she was like, "Oh, maybe we can give this a chance," and he was like, "Nah." And I feel like she didn't have a huge issue when he said no, but
I mean, because I think at that time she already like spoke with like Izzy, and like Izzy was
yeah,
of interest. Milton was kind of interest. So that's why
yeah,
I'm just
I
kind
didn't
of
get
like,
the like impression that she was like doing this with the intention of getting with him. I think it was just a coincidence.
I want to say yes, but I want to say I also don't know, just because like Houston is like still a city and it's not that big of
Yeah,
like that small
they
of a
make it
city.
sound like they know everybody.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's just kind of like it's not that small of a city to be picking like how many of these people out to do this show for.
Yeah,
So I think in the end of the day, I'm just like
I'm sure at the reunion they're gonna
they're
go
gonna go
into
off
it.
on each other. I think like see how Milton handled Uche's conversation was like more mature than how Lydia handled it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like he sat there, he listened to his piece, and he's like, I appreciate it. That's it. Like, there's no need to be like going freaking like bananas about like I understand like nobody likes to be accused of something that they didn't do and shit like that. But at the same time, when you lose your cool, you kind of also lose your composure. Like you lose your composure, you lose everything in this situation.
yeah, but yeah. At the same time, I don't think Uche necessarily had like he feels like he had a right to express this to people, but I don't think that was the case. Like I think Lydia should have just been like, nah, man, I ain't talking to you, bro. But
Yeah, she should have said no.
if she did choose to hear him out, I guess she should have heard him out.
She should like yeah, I agree. Like if she, like you said, she should have heard him out and just let him set his piece and be like, nope, that's all false, and walked away. She should have just walked away the first time too. Like, but she didn't. She chose to go back and continue having this
Now, well, that's the
argument.
crazy thing. If she walked away the first time, then it'd be like, okay, that's fair. Because, like,
Yeah,
she expected one type of conversation and got another.
right. That's what I'm saying. It's just kind of like she still went back for more, and it just feels like she's kind of sort of attracted for this drama. I don't know.
I don't know. I
I
can't get
I,
a
I
good
don't
feel
know.
on any of these people. Like, they're like
None of
aliens to me.
yeah, none of them give me a good feel about them to begin with, because I'm just kind of like also like the family questioning her, like, why is a 32-year-old with a 25-year-old? Like, it's a freaking
No,
legit question.
that's the fairest thing I've heard.
All you've been doing so far is like momming him. So like, what is it that you like are getting out of this? Which is why like I question like, is her intention to really like, is she desperate to get married or is she desperate to like continue being on the show? Like, what's the game here?
I don't
And
know.
then like was okay, but like anyways, we're like falling behind, going backwards.
Falling
Like
behind.
Stacey and is yeah, because Stacey
Well,
and
that's because
Izzy was
Stacey
like,
and Izzy
oh.
are not interesting to talk about.
Well, the fact that like Izzy like went in on Johnny, which is unnecessary. Like he was the one who like pulled her away to have a conversation, and then
Nah,
he went
I would have murked that fool. Like,
right because it was like not necessary to be doing that shit.
no, yeah, there was literally no problem. And he's like, yeah, I just feel like I gotta say this. I'm like, but why? You're with your
Like
girl, like, fuck off.
exactly, and it's like, oh, I gotta defend my boy. Like you only knew
Yeah,
him
like
for
you.
like,
Yeah, and he's like, yo, we're cool, we're still friends. Like, doing like all the fucking high fives and shit.
like he was like, no, we're
Yeah, and
not.
Chris was like, man, I barely know that motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying. Like Chris was, I really liked Chris. Like Chris is like one such a
Yeah,
genuine sweetheart.
Johnny failed upwards, like, by getting Chris.
Yes, right? Like he like was very like emotionally vulnerable and all that stuff, and I'm like, dude, that's like a genuine guy right there. I will be happy if he can get anyone that he like likes,
Yeah.
and it was Johnny. And unfortunately, fortunately, I don't know how we want to look at it,
Whatever, however it turns out.
but like, you know, he stayed cool when he was talking to Izzy about it.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that like, you know, Johnny was like, oh, she said this to me, she said I love you like 4 times to me. Like, cool, bro, you were counting.
Yeah,
Like,
well, that's it's like the fuckboy thing with the all of his little treasures and trinkets. Like he,
yeah, that's why I'm just kind of like, I'm not understanding his appeal, and I don't like the way, I just don't like the way he acts, you know? Like, him and Stacy is just toxic makes toxic. Like, he's toxic in like one way and she's toxic in another, and they're just
yeah,
brewing a freaking like cauldron stew over there.
No, yeah, I told someone I was watching the show with that like if I saw Izzy like if I was walking down the street and Izzy was like right in front of me, I'd cross the street. Like I would never want anything to do with that motherfucker.
And you know what's and then okay, so remember during like Mexico, you know how like the producers was like all up showing like videos of them like being half naked
Oh
and shit
yeah.
like that. So Zach pointed out, he was like, "Yo, he has really bad back acne." And I was like,
Is he
"Okay,
taking
like
steroids?
yeah." So Zach brought that up. He was like,
I would
"I bet you
explain
he
it.
did." Yeah, he was like, "I bet you he did roids back then because like you don't get this bad of a back acne without like." And the fact that he's bald is like
Hmm.
another reason why Zach is very convinced that he did steroids previously
He might be
or
doing
now. I don't
steroids
know.
now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He
Like
has
Zach is
that
very
type of body.
right. So that's why Zach is very convinced, and I was just like,
It
interesting.
might explain his mood swings too.
That too, right? Like it's just a lot of thought things
Yeah.
to like think about, right?
We can make a Reddit post and get a lot of karma.
Big points.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you wanted to say about Love is Blind before we end the podcast, or because we'll touch back on it next time once the
Obviously,
finale's
yeah.
done.
All right, I'm gambling that none of them walk out of the
The
altar
first
together.
zero marriage season.
Yeah, the first zero marriage is gonna happen with this
It
season.
would
It's my
deserve it this season.
I totally agree. It's gonna be zero marriage. Watch, just watch. Even if they do come out together, they're gonna divorce each other.
Yeah, and I think like the producers got to start making some changes because I feel like a lot of people are getting frustrated with the show now.
Oh, 100%. Like their stupid thing about like showing the food and that they're actually feeding them is now that they're doing it. Whatever. That doesn't.
Yeah,
It's just a whatever.
yeah. So, looking forward to seeing if the train wreck ends in more casualties.
Yes.
Yes. All right, gang. Well, that's been the one brain cell. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell us what you'd like us to talk about next time. Peace. Wu Tang.